remember that Free Speech Fridays between 8:30 and 9 on a Friday morning here on the platform is we get a couple of free-speaking individuals and we mull over the events and the news stories of the week. We've got a regular roster of people not afraid to speak freely. It is brought to you in association with the Free Speech Union. They are the champions of free speech in New Zealand. And if you have a problem with your free speech or you want to know what they're doing in their campaigns, you go to fsu.co.nz. Search FSUNZ. Just check let's get this right, Ben. I think we'll just get a promo made for them. FSU.nz. That is where you're going to find all you need to know about free speech in this country. All right, joining us this morning, Auckland City Councillor Maurice Williamson. Kia ora, Maurice. Morena.
Good morning, Sean. I don't know quite how to say the other bit, so.
All right, and from Wellington, from the wild, wet streets of Wellington, where bike racks cost $562,000, is Alistair Boyce. How are you, Boyce?
We got lots of bike racks and no people.
Boyce, can you, and Maurice, can you believe in the Post this morning, $562,000 for a bike rack, Maurice?
Yes, I can, because the people who believe in this stuff are almost on a religious, zealous kick. That cars are evil, we've got to get them out of our towns, we've got to close down the car parks, and we've all got to either cycle or walk everywhere. And it doesn't matter how much we commit to building these things, it's worth it in order to achieve the outcome. They worship at the altar of St. Greta of Thunberg.
Alistair, the thing is, it now makes the $80,000 bike rack next to the Freiburg swimming pool in Oriental Bay look like a bargain.
Well, it does. What I'm interested in, and Maurice might be able to help us, is how this deep infiltration of council occurred to the point where this is the preeminent agenda.
Well, I'm happy to give you an answer on that. I think there's two things. One, there is apathy in the public, and even in a really hotly contested local government election, the turnout is really, really low. And there's a problem here that the National Party's got a lot to answer for. The Green stand candidates, Labor Party stand candidates, on the Auckland Council there's heaps of Labor Party candidates who've still got all their cars sign written with Labor, but National won't get in to local government politics. And I think that's why we're handing over so many councils to the left, because the public don't know their names, don't know who they are, and just tick off a few names because they've got to vote. And I think it's time, in every other jurisdiction, Sean and Boyce, I tell you, in every other jurisdiction I can name, UK, Canada, France, Germany, Australia, every state in America, both parties, the big parties, stand candidates all the way down the ballot. And when I lived in Los Angeles, the local school board had elections for the board, and the candidates had a D or an R after their name.
Right, so everyone knew where everyone stood. And, of course, you know, the Greens do, and Tori Fowler said she was independent, and she comes and says, oh, no, I'm Green. well, you know, you didn't have to be a rocket scientist to figure that out. Let's have a look at Wellington, though, Maurice, and I was really interested in your views. More revelations this week about the Linda Clark Code of Conduct inquiry. We now find the complainant in that Code of Conduct inquiry into the alleged or supposed leaking of information around a controversial property deal for Reading Cinemas. We now find that the complainant was in fact the Mayor's political advisor, partner of Chloe Schwabrick, and she tried to keep anonymous that she was the person who blew the whistle. And of course then they get in Linda Clark, and apparently she charges $42,000. No one cooperates with the Code of Conduct inquiry. That looks and smells like a complete stitch. It's like something Nixon would do to me.
It does indeed, and it's one of the really good ways to silence people is to put the sort of witch hunt onto them. I'm coming after you. You're in trouble. Code of Conduct's supposed to scare the crap out of you. I've had threats of them myself, and I've just said, make my day. If you're doing a job that you're supposed to be doing and uncovering things that are wrong, you've got every right to be bloody drilling and digging in us. It's the bastion of real bloody evil to resort to trying to get lawyers and code of conduct coming at you.
Yeah, well, my understanding is that Linda Clark's got her own problems. She wasn't acting as a lawyer; she was acting as a consultant. And my understanding is there's a complaint to the Law Society because she also accepted work from another client who wanted to sue the Wellington City Council, and she did not, perhaps, disclose her conflict of interest.
Good Lord, I don't know anything about that.
All right. Boyce, what do you make of that? That was just a political jack-up witch hunt, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's a clear strategy to muzzle any opposing voices, and these are the voices of reason. It was perfectly obvious that this Reading deal was just a jack-up to make the council and the mayor look good. It wasn't going to be good for the people of Wellington. It was just going to be another bleed of their funds, like the Takina Centre and lots of other projects going on, and we get this denial of the facts from the 52 comm staff led by the mayor, or maybe the comm staff led by the mayor.
You know the one thing, they have those 52 comm staff, they've basically mothballed their Twitter account, which I would have thought would be a really efficient way of communicating with a large number of people, but they basically say we don't really use our Twitter account anymore. I wonder it's because they had so much criticism of the mayor and this administration. Look, I don't want to make this a Wellington Centric thing today. I've got one other Wellington.
Just quickly though, Sean. Yeah. One quick question. The problem that worries me is, while I've been a city councillor, you meet people all the time. And they're going, bloody dreadful what's going on with $500,000 speed bumps, and bloody awful what's going on with this, and bloody awful. I said, I agree with you. And then I say, did you vote in the last local body election? No. I said, will you vote next time? Oh, yeah. I said, no, stop the probably. Get off your ass, go out and vote, because if you're angry and then you've got to make change, you can't just sit there and whinge and then do nothing.
All right. God, we got some stuff to get through. Let's go to the break now. All right. Gosh, I'm just going to pick a topic. All right. New Māori Queen. Guys, apparently, according to One News, Aotearoa has a new queen. Or does it, Boyce?
Oh, this is over the top. I was watching TV One News mainly because I was hoping Ray Chung might come on in relation to the Maori wards at council and things like that. Then what we had was an hour and a half diatribe of biblical proportions, having to put up with this. We've got a new queen for Aotearoa, New Zealand. It was over the top.
Well, we don't, do we, Maurice? A group, some would say a cult, called the Kingi Tonga movement, have a new spiritual head.
Yes, and it's not what you would call a monarchy, because it's not hereditary. They have a vote, and the two boys didn't get on there for obvious reasons. But what I'm surprised about is whenever a new person takes over a role in the world, a princess takes over the bloody country when the mother dies or something, we get a bit of a background about what she's done, what university she went to, where she's been working, what has she, I've tried to find out. I mean, it could easily have been out there and I've just missed it. But I really don't know what this lady has done, where she's been.
But why would you care? She's not your queen. She's not the country's queen. It's like, why would you care who the president of the local branch of Toastmasters is if you don't go to Toastmasters?
Yeah, good point. I apologise. I will go.
No, but look, what do you take, Maurice, of the way it has been covered, particularly by TVNZ and mainstream media?
Ridiculous. There have been so many TVNZ reports. This is a company that's losing millions.
85 million.
And there's just been a plethora of reporters for TVNZ, and they cross to this one, back to this one, back, and night after night. You'd think sort of a combination of Nelson Mandela, Mother Teresa, and the Pope had all sort of died on the same day and so on. Look, the guy was obviously loved by his family and friends and so on, and he died. So you've got to pay tribute to a person who's died. Yeah. And that's fine. But it just went on, and night after night after night. And I think the public just said, well, the Queen, who was the Queen of our nation, wouldn't have got that much coverage.
Probably didn't, actually, Boyce.
No, we had to endure a day off instead. It was a public holiday, if you remember. So all the small business owners of the country had to pay everyone for a day off. Not the government, not the taxpayer.
Well, that's one good thing about the Māori Queen. We don't have to have a whole lot of Matariki, well, but, you know, she doesn't ask for holidays. That's good.
Not yet.
And she doesn't cost us taxpayers a cent.
That might be coming.
Oh, God, I hope not. But she's not even the queen of all the Maoris, is she?
No,
She's not.
just the group that recognises that Kingi Tonga.
Yeah.